Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to East Meets West. I got that correct. C Blocks Drops, Christmas special, all in one. This is our
Mazel
first-
tov, Happy Hanukkah.
This is the first episode of the year, and what a special episode it is. Your boy, Fanshaw Jake, back in the divisional championship. You too, well, but me, back in this game, ready to win. Mike.
You guys
Welcome.
are definitely paying me, right? Like, my
Everyone-
contract to come back to this show was I was getting a raise.
Everyone is paid up in the league. We're fully funded. Daddy is here. All right, I'm ready to win a
Daddy.
championship. Let's go. How you feeling about this week?
I feel good. I do feel good. You know, like
I don't know how our opponents feel. Let's ask Steve.
Steve, what do you do?
Man, a few words. No, in all seriousness, we have our divisional championship week. The Globo Gym Purple Cobras, yours truly, going up against B Block's finest, Steve. And then we have the commissioner back in the divisional championship game. Never been in a championship game yet. Both sides of the bun going up against our reigning, defending CBFFL
The two-time,
champion,
the back-to-back,
back-to-back champion.
the champ. Copyright.
The best team in the league, I guess you would say, over the past 6-7 years. Atlantic Sanitation.
Oh, that must have hurt him to say.
That did not feel good. I don't think I've ever said that on camera, not on camera. That's brutal. We're going to dive into, I guess we'll start with how we got here, right? How did we get here, Mike?
I crushed my division and everybody else.
That means Mike had his annual hall pass, leading him right to the playoffs, and was able to... Did you do anything this year during fantasy? Were you able to watch, or...
I mean, yeah, I drafted the team. And
Did
then
you know we started this year?
And then I kind of
Did you
just
know?
took a nap, you know.
I guess the real question is, did everybody in the West know we started this year?
Well, Brock had a good team until it got
Everybody.
dismantled by injury, and Joe is always around, and Charlie, the new guy in the West.
Yeah, we
You
were
know?
talking off camera about Charlie. Unfortunately, not able to.
I think
pull it
Charlie's a top 6 team in the league. I think now. I think I'm comfortable.
I
saying
think we can
that.
all say Charlie had a very fine draft this year. Was able to put together a few trades, hit on both rookie running backs, which was huge. Obviously, at the end, it kind of bit him in the ass there, not having Pierce. But going into it, I thought he had the best team in the playoffs. But this is how fantasy football works, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he had the best team, like you said, because Pierce had been showing signs of coming down. But yeah, those injuries screwed him.
He had Olave for a little while that he hit on.
Like this, yeah, he was
Jamal
screwed.
Williams.
He was screwed this week, no matter what. Like even if he had managed to get by Joe, I would have absolutely.
Well,
won.
and, I mean, we're eventually going to dive into all that now, and that's, I'm assuming, Mike's actually touching on the weather there, which is going to be a big problem.
Well,
for,
injuries, too.
And
I mean,
injuries.
Hurts is
yeah,
out.
injuries, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Walker's
I almost
banged
forgot
up.
about that.
Pierce
that
is
would've-
out.
That would have really hurt him. But he's not here to tell a story about it, so we're going to move forward with the 4 teams that we got.
Yeah, this was a playoff invite only.
Wow. Steve didn't get the fucking memo. Speaking of playoffs, let's go over the brief history that we had. Last year, and one of the guys not on the count.
Hi, Matt.
Well, we had that game, but I was more talking about the West Division, how you and our commissioner had had the playoff game last year. Am I correct on that? Played in the playoffs last year, right?
Did we?
Yes. That was around before the championship.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, because Joey, was last year the bold prediction? Out 3, that was 2 years ago?
No, yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Who played in the West Championship last year?
I couldn't even tell you.
Brock.
All
Brock
of them,
had the bye
they're
last
all
year.
the same to me.
Wow. Did you make the playoffs last year? I'm getting way ahead of myself.
Yeah, Brock actually
The
had
goal
a true.
is-
Brock had 11 wins last year. I do recall that.
Brock did. Brock won the division last year. I do remember. Now we're talking about
I do
the
like-
numbers.
all things
Well, anyway,
true.
you're back in the playoffs. So, what's new with that?
Familiar sight. Same.
Yeah, we got a lot of familiar things here, but we do have some playoff history between you two. Why don't you run us through?
Joe and I have played at least twice off the top of my head. I haven't looked at this. I know the year I lost to Matt, shout out Pete Carroll, you fucking asshole. I beat him by half a point. And then sorry, we got some stuff going on off camera. And then 2 years ago, he he the bold prediction year.
That was the bold prediction. Now
He
3
ran,
games.
he
now
ran
4.
out of gas in the semifinals, but he was on a hell of a run.
So how we feeling?
I'm getting booed.
How we feeling this week?
I feel good. I think it's a coin toss, to be honest. Like, I mean,
projection-wise, obviously, you're down a
well,
little
yeah,
bit.
I think he's got what, three points. You got 3 points on
I
you, Joe?
believe that right now, I think it's 108, 105 something right here. So you're looking anywhere
let's take
between
a
2
look.
and 3 points, which is, I mean,
It's close enough to not, I think be a toss-up.
It's
Let's
not
see what
17.
ESPN has to say. What are you talking about there?
We'll get into
Yeah, according to ESPN, it's 52% Joe to 48% me. So, slight edge to him, but, I feel a lot safer with Justin Fields than he should with Kirk Cousins.
even if performance we see from Kirk and the
I
boys
think
last week.
Kirk has a history of collapse.
Speaking about running out of steam, Kirk Cousins going to run out of steam this week, you think?
Probably not.
Probably not.
How about you? You versus Steve. Familiar tale.
Me versus Steve. So this is the 3rd time me and Steve are going to be playing to go to a championship. Right now, I am 2-0 in those matchups. We were going over it. I don't think Steve has scored over. I think it was 95 or 92 in the playoffs. And that's honestly, I feel like that's what we got to hope for.
So this
I
is
don't think that. I think if Steve plays an average game, like projection average wise, I don't think we're going to be able to catch him. I really need him to. I need weather to become a factor. I need everything to come into play this week, including Steve's psyche. I need somehow Steve's psyche to get into Geno Smith, and all of a sudden Geno Smith's like, "Holy shit, I got a chode dick, and I'm not going to be able to throw this ball."
Well, this is a tale of two cities because I think I'm 2-0 against Joe in playoff games. You're
Yeah.
2-0 against Steve.
And they're the 2 teams.
We're both underdogs in
Both
our
teams
games.
Never made it to a championship game yet, so we got a little history on the line. Obviously, we have our championship playoff history.
I would like nothing more to fucking keep the revenge tour going and take your ass out.
Well, we got to get through this week, but like I was saying, I don't think we're going to be able to play up to a level where we can keep up with Steve if he's hitting projections. I really think we need him to play under projections, and we need to do what we've been doing, which is about 105 to 110, and we just let.
Oh, you're using we to speak for your team. I got you. I was like, wait, speak for yourself. I already beat Steve this year. Shout out,
I
Steve.
haven't. No, I haven't. So yeah, and a wise man once told me that it's really hard to beat someone 3 times in a season.
Well, I only got to play him twice.
But yeah, that's how I feel about the game going into it. We can dive into matchups a little bit. We'll start with. You want to start?
Let's talk about tonight's game because Steve does have players going in it, doesn't he?
He does.
He's got ETN and who else?
He's got his defense.
The
Jaguars
Jags.
defense
He's playing the Jags defense against the Jets.
So as far as the defense, I was telling the commish off camera that 20 points tonight between the 2 players. 20 points tonight would be like all right, that sucks, but this is we're still doable. Anything really above like 25 between them 2 players is really going to put me in a hole because they're 2 of his, I would say, lesser players right now. I mean, I know defense is 1 player, but if them 2 can combine for especially less than 20, if I can get somewhere in the teens, I'm going to feel really good going into Saturday.
Just looking at ESPN here, they're projected for about 19 right now combined.
Right, and that's my point.
But ETN has been struggling. I know he's been battling injuries. Last week he had a good week though, right, with the receiving yards. I believe
so. And it's another weather game. Like obviously we're not too far from New York. We got some shitty weather right now. It's supposed to rain. I think the rain is supposed to intensify as the second half progresses. But that Jets defense is really good. So that's another good, I guess, matchup for me this week as far as Steve's concerned, is that that Jets defense should be able to contain him. I'm more concerned with this defense causing turnovers. Like if this defense, and God forbid they score a touchdown, that's something that could really flip this game early into Steve's favor.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be rain for the whole game.
Yeah, and it's supposed to like monsoon rain.
Weather, the temperature's not too bad, and neither's the. So that I wouldn't feel good about that then. I think ETN's going to be.
I don't. But like I said, the one thing I'm hoping for here is that the Jets run defense and defense in general is a very stout unit, and I'm hoping that they're able to bottle him up. Maybe this game stays, like even if this game stays 17-13 Jets, like if the Jets can cross that threshold, threshold where they get to the next level and Steve loses them 2 points. Because I think once you get to 17, I could be wrong in this, but I think once you get to 17, you have 0 as far as points for that specific category. So if we can get to that, and hopefully they cross over that 200 point or a 200 yard threshold, anywhere between 8 and 11 would be, I guess, ideal, being that the matchup they have. If I can get something less than that, again, that would have me feeling really good going into Saturday with the way my lineup's playing. And again, as far as ETN, you're just hoping for 12 or less, I guess. 12 or less would be really nice for me. That's an average game, I guess. A couple catches. I really need Steve to stay out of the end zone, period, this week. But I really need these type of players to stay out of the end zone, because you figure McCaffrey's going to score. No Tyler Lockett. You figure DK's hopefully doesn't, but you figure DK's going to have a little bit better of a game. Mark Andrews eventually going to have to turn around.
Yeah, that's going to be the
Diggs has been
the
on.
Seahawks are going to have to throw to keep up with the Chiefs.
And that's another one where I'm hoping he reverts a little back to where the Geno Smith of old. You know what I mean? If I can get two picks from him.
You're hoping
this
he
week,
starts right back.
If I can get 2 picks from him this week, it's another one where I'm feeling I'm looking at this I'm not going to be able to keep up with Steve. I need Steve's players to kind of do specific things. Right?
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Steve actually has some pretty good matchups.
See, I don't think so. When you take into account the weather, that's what I'm really taking. So you look at Diggs, right? Diggs is obviously
I think
Steve
that's
Diggs.
maybe the one, right? I know it's going to be cold in Kansas City, but other than that, it's going to be clear, just cold. And Andrews is probably the biggest iffy one, just because I think Joe said it earlier today off camera. The commissioner is battling a cold. That's why he can't be here with us. Get well soon, Joe.
Thank you.
Let's see. Who's starting tonight? Huntley? Or not tonight, but
Yeah, I think Huntley.
he's been.
started for the Rams.
Lamar's been declared out again. Still battling that. What's that? PCL sprain he has? Something like that.
Well, Andrews is weird because it brings in 2 of my players. So I have Dobbins on that offense, and then I have the kicker. And this is something we were talking about off camera, where if Andrews can stay out of the end zone, and even if he's getting catches and getting them into the red zone, if they can stall and kick the field goal, I can make up points there with that. So for realistically, you look at it, okay, Andrews and his kicker versus Tucker and Schultz. If I can keep that matchup to, obviously I would like to win it, but if I can keep that matchup within range, where, you figure, but we'll just go with 20. If they can all kind of score around 20 between them 2 players, I feel really good about that.
Sorry.
I thought you were dropping the action news drop over there.
While we're on Steve's team, just a quick stat on Steve, off-camera stat.
Stat boy.
He is, out of his 4 games against the West this year, he has only won 1 of them against Charlie. He is 10-4 on the season, 9-1 against the East, 1-3 against the West. So Steve could be having vision to next week. Get a little
Thinking ahead a little bit.
thinking ahead.
Worrying about the JV division.
What's he going to do to beat the West?
Nothing.
Not much.
Are you looking at your team? Let's talk about your team, right? Because we haven't done that.
Wait, really quickly, off camera stat on Steve. One more stat.
He is Nito's stat of the night.
Over under 15 hair follicles on his head.
Public slam in the under. He is concerned of Bea Juju for not showing up today.
As well he should be. As you can see, we reserved a seat for him, and he canceled last minute. That's disappointing. It's disappointing. Speaking from experience, to be a champion, Steve, it takes commitment. And if you can't bother to show up, I don't know what to tell you. But all right, back to you. You're starting Devontae Smith. Are you going to keep him in even with Minshew?
I'll put this on camera. What I am thinking about changing around now would be the Bills defense. I have one that is available that I like, and then I have the Bengals on my bench going
The
against
Saints. He's talking about the Saints.
Thank you. So I see the problem is, and I was telling Matt this on the way over, is I have 6 players playing in 3 games. I have Josh Allen in the Bills defense. I have Justin Tucker and Dobbins, and then I have Schultz and Elliott. And I've been doing it for the past couple weeks now, but this week I'm kind of hyper focused on it, where I really don't like the fact that I need to get a lot of my points within just 3 football games. And and I'm not really liking that right now. But if anything, I'm going to switch to defense. That could come into play. And the other switch, and this all depends on injuries, is Jerry Jeudy for Moser. And I'm thinking about possibly starting them. They both play Sunday. I think one plays at 4:30 and one plays at 1. But that's going to rely on Cortland Sutton and if Jeff Wilson plays. If no Jeff Wilson, no Cortland Sutton, it's going to come down to how Saturday goes, because Steve has that player Monday. So if I'm if I'm down going into Sunday and I need a 20-point game, gunned in my head, I think I would go Jerry Jeudy with him having Keenan Allen left on Monday. But again, ideally, we're within at worst 5 points, and we're going into Sunday with a player, and I would have the only player going that day, which I like. It lets me just kind of watch that game, hope that player kicks ass, and build a lead. So I mean, obviously I need to go into Monday with a lead, but the way this is going to play out is going to be very interesting. Again, with me having Allen, him having Diggs, and the weather coming into factors.
Well, I think that particular matchup is going to favor you. Dobbins has actually been really good lately, I believe.
He just hasn't caught the ball. He's gotten one target over the past 2 weeks.
I think that'll probably continue, to be honest.
Yeah.
Zeke has picked it up.
Zeke scored a touchdown 8 straight.
Full disclosure, we're all Eagles fans here. I don't like his chances in that game. Jeudy, I understand the logic. Smith.
I like Schultz.
What about Higgins now? He's playing in New England. Is he locked in for you?
He seems, from all the research I'm doing, to be the start at wide receiver for me out of the 3. If I'm going to start if I had to start one of them, he would be the top one.
Yeah, your receivers are pretty rough.
Yeah, my whole lineup's pretty rough, especially after losing JT last week. We've been, like I said, we've just been kind of skating by with a 105, 110, and just hoping that the other team doesn't
everything
blow up on me.
The only thing, Joe, do you happen to have lines in front of you there?
I do.
What is the line on tonight's game with the Jags and the Jets?
The Jaguars.
38.
The Jaguars are
plus
on the road to New York. New York Jets are -2.5, over under 36.5.
That jumped, actually.
Really?
That line opened at 1.
Yeah, I'm not that's the only thing. I'm looking at Steve's lineup. I wouldn't. I get it. He's targeting the Zach Wilson matchup, but I don't know if I'd go with the Jags defense. But
weather is set to be
just rain.
Getting worse as the game goes on.
Mid-40s rain, yeah. But honestly, just looking at this is Steve's game to lose.
Absolutely.
Steve's game to lose, but that's a tale we have seen multiple times throughout the year. I am rooting for him because I hate you, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Steve comes up small, and Geno Smith has a complete meltdown.
And like you just said, I think we can. I think we can all agree on that. I need Steve to play down to a level, because I don't think I have the roster to play up to that level. Because Steve does have. He has a really good lineup. You know what I mean? Top to bottom, it's really good. So I don't think I'm going to be able to play to that. Maybe we get that week where he doesn't score any touchdowns and my guys just happen to find the end zone. So that's how I feel about it going into it. I like our chances a lot more after I see.
Yeah, look, I think Tom would have had a much better.
Tom, me and Matt were talking about this off camera.
Much better shot. I know he's starting half the Chiefs, but to lose by 1 point.
Tom should be starting, and I had the best kicker in the history of the NFL get 0, and then I had a player.
You still want to keep kickers?
I had a player go out and
you still want to keep kickers?
Play. I think I deserve it.
Can you commit? Can you commit right now?
Yes, I want kickers. Me and Matt talked about this. I want kickers again next year.
You're a lunatic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy I will vote for kickers.
Yeah, and so will half the East because they're in the cold. I don't know. Me and Joe's game, much more interesting.
Line-wise and player-wise, I would say, yeah.
I think Joe did bring it up. I think we do have very similar rosters. Like that Christian trade with Joe moving Derrick Henry, brilliant move by him. He got a haul, completely reinvigorated him. Got him. He was kind of on the cusp there, he's battling Charlie and stuff, and this just made him a slam dunk team for the playoffs.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That was coming out of your 5-game losing streak, right? That wasn't in the middle. I think you were actually literally on the way out of the 5-game losing streak.
I just broke it because I had the mid-year bye.
Okay.
I played Kev. And then
Kev, anybody seen Kev?
I
Is he
believe
out of that
I
well
put
yet?
up 80 points or something like that and beat Kev, and then made the move before the deadline.
Yeah, I mean it was a great move. I mean you traded what? Derrick Henry, Gabe Davis, and Michael Pittman for Godwin, Tyler Lockett, Montgomery, and Josh Jacobs, who has been killing it this year.
Yeah.
Like absolutely killing it. So like you fixed your wide receiver slots, both of them. Well, Lockett's hurt this week. That's unfortunate, but and then you managed to also get Josh Jacobs. Is he the running back? He's the running back 1 right now, and Montgomery, who is consistently decent, like as long as he's healthy.
Montgomery's, before I made the trade for him, under 5 fantasy points back-to-back weeks. Since I acquired him, over 12 each week.
Yeah, it's a good move. And Josh Jacobs has been just like a
Yeah,
absolute
I think,
revelation this year.
yeah, as Joe said, like he's got Cook, Montgomery, and Jacobs versus my Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and Miles Sanders. I give the slight edge to Joe, but I think it's close. I have the best wide receiver, but I think well, actually, you're starting Moore. Is that locked in, Chris
We'll
Moore?
go ahead and chalk the receiver group up to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Tyler Lockett getting hurt was on
Yeah,
the
that
final
sucks
play
for
of,
you.
of the game that didn't really mean anything. Was tough.
see, I am curious. The Knox pickup, was that a denial pickup, or is that you're worried about Njoku in that New Orleans game?
That was options as weather continues to
I
develop.
think Knox is,
I think both of them are.
I think
Well,
is
Knox-
fantastic.
Yeah, it's playoff time, so I can't take chances with anyone else that's out there. I'm looking at Tyler Higbee, if I don't, and they're playing Denver
First touchdown last
I
week.
got it.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean,
or Hunter Henry.
yeah, I'm
the other guy.
playing Taysom Hill. I'm just going for the upside. You know, the rushing attempts. I mean, last week, what do you have? An 89-yard touchdown to Rashid. So
But I think we've seen over the past couple weeks, and I can attest to this, that you can afford like a zero. You obviously don't want the zero, but I've overcome a few times this year where
I'm
I've
playing the
gotten the
upside.
zero.
I'm playing the upside. Listen, I was one of those idiots that drafted Kyle Pitts. Oof. So yeah, I'm just going with upside. Everything else is just kind of direct. I think Joe is more solidified at the tight end spot. I think we're going to know he's playing a good match. I think all of our players are playing on Saturday, so we'll know.
No, so I was just about to get into this with you, but I think we're going to know basically where your game's going when Justin Fields is done playing. Because if that weather becomes a factor and he's not able to, say he does rush for 100 yards, and
he's going to.
And he doesn't, maybe
That's a slam dunk.
If he doesn't get into the end zone, I mean, you're looking at 15 or less maybe from your quarterback. And you can't be having that around for the championship.
No. I mean, listen, my team, since the Cup injury, that was a glaring weakness. That's why I picked Fields. I mean, I drafted Brady, who's been mediocre the entire year. Just don't know what's going on with the Bucs. They just can't get it together. Obviously, as the matchup goes, I go with Justin Fields. Fields,
right.
I think, but I'll say this: I think Justin Fields is a fantasy superstar. I think.
And that's my
the
point.
rushing yards are going to be there because they have to be there. And he's come out and openly said he's chasing that record. So I feel good about that. I know he's going to go for it. So it's like I'm okay with that.
But that kind of makes my point. That's what I'm saying though. But if we get a game from him where he's like, I don't know, 50, I guess maybe anywhere between 15 and 20 could keep you in it. But I think looking at this, you really need him to.
I think 20. I would be ecstatic with 20, 100%. Justin Fields, since he's come back from that injury, I believe he's the number 1 quarterback in fantasy.
Just me personally, like I said, looking at this, I'm thinking you're going to need 20.
Let me read you a list of numbers. 18.4,
Cincinnati,
23.36, 26.04, 42.72, 39.38, 22.62, 19.26, 23.58.
That's his weeks, right?
I'll be honest. I am most confident in him on my team.
Yeah, but that's my point. If he has a bad game, if he's scoring low, I think we're gonna know as soon as that game's over.
Sure.
If this matchup's over or not. You know what I mean? Like even halfway through that game, if this weather becomes a true factor and he's not able to do anything, and you're not able to score any points with him, it's going to be a major concern because I don't think the rest of your, like Aaron Jones, I think he started picking it up a little bit last week, but at one point last week, I didn't even notice him on the field. A.J. Dillon was running the ball so much.
Jones is LaFleur is a bit iffy with that. Like he'll use guys for entire drives and stretches, so he'll have them alternate. But yeah,
and then,
Jones does
and then
have a bit of shakiness.
And then you have Watson on that offense, right? So you're asking for one football to feed both of them players. And this is my point, though. It's like if Justin Fields scores 25 to 30 points, you're not as much worried about that one football having to feed.
I think Miami's going to put up points, so I'm not too overly concerned with that.
Fair enough.
I think the biggest question mark, other than Taysom Hill on my team, is the Eagles.
We talked about.
The Eagles have been sack and turnover machines, so that's what I'm just playing with. I gotta hope that Houston continues being a real football team for the first 3 quarters, and then before they realize they have to lose the game again.
We have one with this is a problem that he has. He has the wide receiver going against his defense.
I don't put too much stock in that. The only time I personally won't go with, I'll play whoever you think is going to get you the most points. The only time I won't do that is if my quarterback's playing my defense, because if your defense scores a lot of points, that means your quarterback has probably not played well. That's the only time.
I hate getting into that. Like when it gets close, like when the games are started, and say this was like the 4:00 game, and it's like, all right, I'm down X amount of points, but now every time my receiver catches the ball, it's yards against my defense, and then like you're in your head, you're just adding.
Yeah, I get that. I think that's a natural reaction, but I don't really think that's a big deal for him.
The one thing that I like that Joe has going for him is he has the Sunday play. You're done Saturday night, and
really quick, the Packers Miami Sunday.
Yeah, I have 2 players on Sunday.
I'm sorry. Then they're at 1:00. I'm sorry. I was looking at the 8:15 games. All right, my bad. Well, that's what it is then. I'm sorry. He has the last game, the 8:20 game.
I mean, yeah. If I'm down by 15 or so, maybe not like the 18 or so range, I feel good.
And
I feel good going into Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, with them 2, and then what's he have Sunday? Just the one.
Godwin.
Just Godwin. Okay, yeah. I guess that would be. Yeah, I would say anywhere between 18 and 24 points.
Before we break off of your team, any concern with Devontae Adams, 7 catches for under
a little bit, yeah. I mean, the Raiders have just been, but he's Devontae Adams.
He's Pittsburgh. It's a cold.
He's Devontae Adams. You have to start him. Start your studs. I'm not gonna get cute and overthink some shit. Like, look, if you look at my other receivers, Ayuk, Marquise Brown, who they both, because of quarterback issues, have now become almost unplayable.
I don't even think that was a question of would you not start him? I just think it's
Treylon Burks, another one. Like the receivers are there, the quarterbacks are not.
Is this
it's
something
Adams.
that will continue? Will he continue to have under 100?
He is 7 catches for under 100 yards in the last 2 weeks combined.
I mean, if that happens, who cares if it continues? I'm probably out.
Yeah.
And we'll have a new champ. So.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Come on, Devontae. I believe in you.
And I guess the question mark is, you said you were going to go with the wide receiver, right? You're going to stick with Moore as the wide receiver.
I won't. I don't know. I can't lock that in right now.
And then tight end was another one that we were discussing that you might be.
Who else? So are you actually considering Pickens, or are you going to look to the waiver wire?
Brandon Cooks being active makes the Moore start a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
If Brandon Cooks
you were banking on both ends.
Let me see.
If he's questionable right now.
Who is out here right now?
But if Brandon Cooks is active, I probably won't start Moore. I'll probably drop him.
Any interest in a Matt Collins?
No, I would start George Pickens.
Atwell.
Yeah, looking at the guys that are out there, I think you would have to. I mean, there's nobody out here that's really inspiring right now. I mean, unless you go back to Jahan Dotson, which he won't be. He won't be. Well, I mean, like you said, weather. You really want that? You want that?
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even cross my mind. That's why Matt Collins would probably be the biggest upside. KJ Osborne, but you got Cooks and Kirk.
I think it's going to be close. I think me and Joe are going to have a classic Joe Mike game where they're usually pretty close.
I think there's plenty of
They're usually pretty exciting.
I think you're right. I think your game can literally go a million different directions. I think you can both score a lot. I think you can both score a lot.
Say Steve collapses. You're back.
Who would I rather play?
You're back. Who would
I'd
you
rather play.
Yeah, for the storyline or his team?
I think
okay. All right. Okay.
We
Likewise, I'd rather play you just because
his team's better.
Yeah, and I also want to beat you.
See, I would obviously want to play and beat you, but Commission never been in the championship. It'd be nice to play him.
Well, I think if we pulled the league, they would vote for our opponents. They would much rather see
Do you think gun to their head,
Steve
they
and
would
Joe
really?
than you and I. Yeah.
I guess that's a poll. We haven't.
We're
got
the
a,
two
we haven't
biggest
got a poll
villains in
this
the
week.
league.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think
Everybody
people
hates you.
I don't think people
Half
like
the people
Steve.
hate me.
I don't know how you could like Steve. I guess that's more like how could you vote for?
I like Steve, except
man, I
when
really
he-
want that guy
when
to
he has
win.
no.
Because his chair is empty.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
I
this
mean-
is Steve. This is Steve right here. Look.
It's bad juju. This is bad juju for him. This is really bad. We all agreed to come here. We're doing a holiday Christmas special for the league. Like we're trying to raise funds to get Kev out of that well, and he can't be bothered to show up. I don't. Like it's just the Malone knows. The Malone knows who's worthy, and it's like Thor's hammer. I don't think he's going to be able to lift it up.
Actually, at the bottom of the page, if you can, there's a link. It says GoFundMe for the East Division. We are getting donations together for this year to see if we can get everything all paid up before the trophies presented.
Come on, guys. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? But I mean,
Like I was saying, I think your games can go a million different directions. I think you guys can both can do really bad. You both can do really good. One guy can do, you know what I mean? But I think me and Steve, I think I have one simple path to victory, and that is obviously Steve playing a 95 to 110 game. I think if he can come down to that, I think I have a chance to win this week.
what's our time we're at, Matt?
31.
31. I mean, yeah, like, I don't know how much more there is to expand on these matchups. I mean, unless you want to break down the individual games, but.
No, that's like I was saying. At this point,
I think we just do predictions.
At this point, I'm looking at it like, all right, who has an 8 o'clock game? Who has a Sunday game? Where can I be when Sunday starts? Am I going to be up? Am I going to be down? Am I going to be looking to, you know what I mean? Like that's how I'm looking at these matchups now. I'm trying to, especially for me, I'm trying to stay away from the projections, and I'm trying to just be like, all right, if I can get from these two players, if you can get 18 to 20, and then from these players, I can get X amount.
Is it in the budget to have a in memoriam, like segment where we play like in the arms of the angels? We just flash pictures of Charlie and
The Queen.
Tom and R.I.P. Lizzie.
The fallen view.
Yeah.
Predictions. All right. I mean, I guess we'll start with the East. I will go with Steve to win this week.
Wow. Really?
Did
No
it
confidence.
Did it last week with Tom, hoping that the just that psyche rolls over.
Okay. Yeah. I also am going to go with Steve.
You know what happened last week? Everyone went against me, so
Yeah.
including myself.
You did. Like honestly, what was it? A point?
It was 1.0. No,
That's-
1.0.
That's one of the
no.
closest finishes all time.
No. It was. I would have won by 0.02 if I literally beat him if I had 12, and I got 13. So I think it was 1.02 or something right.
Yeah. Rams are abysmal. America.
Well, we go to Commish, I think, right before we hit America. Commish, East Finals. You got a prediction? Payne.
Dead air.
Sorry, I'm arguing with Charlie, who once again thinks he's way bigger than he actually is in this league and tried to come at the commish.
Fucked up again.
Did I?
Yeah.
You just gotta let him know we lost.
Yeah.
That's
I
all.
mean, yeah.
I
Really.
mean-
Like Char.
At the end of the day, Charlie, we can tell you how much great your team
I
was.
tried doing a live poll for the show.
But you lost.
I accidentally put Mike versus Jake twice, so I went in to edit it. But I'm getting shit, so now it's deleted. So
For a guy that contributes nothing, he has a lot to say all the
All
time.
we got from
He's
him.
never. I haven't seen him all year.
Fucked up.
I don't think I've seen him since the draft.
All we
You
got
know?
got from him this week was asking for the show. And I appreciate that, Charlie. And we did this, I think, specifically for you.
Yeah, honestly, be grateful. Just be grateful. Merry Christmas, dude.
So, Commish, back to that East Finals. Prediction.
what am I predicting? Steve versus Jake?
Yes. Say it.
We going with logic, or we? Do you think I can pull off? the
Great.
Who do I
upset?
want to win, or
Love
who I
logic.
think's gonna win?
Either or.
I would love to see Jake win.
Thank you.
I think Steve's gonna win.
That is one of the
Yeah, I
best
mean-
backhanded compliments I've ever gotten in my life.
America.
I originally had Steve
Speak for the
at
people.
the beginning of this. Originally had Steve, but I'm 100% changing because it didn't show up. I'm gonna go with Jake.
Yeah, like the people know. Like this is bad juju, man.
Like it.
Steve, get it
It's not
together.
wrong.
Get it together, man. Like I've taken him aside multiple times. I've tried teaching him You just can't teach someone to be a winner. They just have to do it themselves.
You can only what's the saying? You can walk them to a well.
You
can't
can
make
lead a
lead
horse
'em
to
a
water,
well.
but you can't make him drink. And Steve is dehydrated as fuck. Crusty bitch. You crusty bitch.
So you're going with Steve?
Yeah. Drink up, you fucking idiot.
All right, West. The big matchup. I would say our official game of the week, right?
Do we still do those?
We should have. Hopefully next year we're back on top of this and able to
Maybe,
get some shows out there. I think maybe next year we should do like a maybe every couple weeks, like a quarterly show. Every like 3-4 weeks, maybe we get together.
He doesn't feel like driving.
Put the. I can Skype. I can get in through via Skype.
Might as well. Hey, can we get Charlie on Skype real quick? See what the fuck he has
Is
to
there
say?
anybody available? That
Just
we can
kidding.
get on?
Nobody cares.
New poll is up. If you guys can access it on your phones while you're live on the show.
Absolutely.
Can I?
Can I get a couple of votes?
I think I can.
That's another thing. Actually,
Absolutely.
We do need to talk about. We need to talk about
that second option.
the participation in this league. All right, it's been dreadful this year. I take accountability on that. Usually, I'm the one talking shit, but realistically, nobody fucking responds to anything in the group chat, and we really need to get.
I always
back
respond.
to
You say my name, that's like,
talking shit. I did a lot of personal
It's like rubbing the
shit
lamp.
talking this year. Like I would just directly text you and want to talk.
Except
shit.
to me, he went
I
golfing
am
when we played. 'Cause
looking-
it was a rout.
Directly at you, Steve, through this camera right now, because you know what I've been saying to you. 0-3 in this game, about to be 0-4.
Didn't you just pick him to beat you?
Hopefully. Back to what we were.
Wait, what happened?
The game of the week, the West Finals, the two-time defending champion, looking to go to a third straight final, unprecedented. I'm going to pick the commish to make his first CBFFL Finals appearance. That is nothing personal against you, Mike.
Yeah, sure.
I really like his matchups, and I like his team this week.
He's got a good team. He's got a good
He's
team.
both got
And
good
so,
teams.
like, if I had to, play it honestly down the middle. Like, I mean, you look at the projections, and you'd have to say, I absolutely am going to beat him. Yeah, like, I'm the champ. Like, I'm the champ, and the champ says, fuck these numbers. I don't care what they say. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win again, and then I'm gonna put my jersey in the rafters and.
You are just manifesting this right now.
Yeah.
You're talking it into existence.
Yeah.
I like it. I love the strategy being the fact that
Conceive,
we really can't do
believe,
anything about it.
achieve.
I hear you on that. All right, so you're gonna go with Joe?
Yes. No, me. Hold on, time out.
Commissioner, you like this week?
Yeah, me by a million. I'm not going to do
A
any
million.
cute little story like he did.
And I think this
no
is
build up.
I'll tell you what the story is.
Mike's
2-0.
I think this is the real answer here of who's going to win, because I think if there's any unbiased opinion, as much as I don't like Mike, I'm trying
I
to be
hate
as
this guy.
unbiased as I can on my opinion. I think America will give us the most fairest judgment on this game. So America, where do you see this classic, just absolute slobber knocker, West Finals guy? Who do you see making it to the championship?
I got mustard over mayo. So I got Joe winning the whole thing.
I've never agreed to that mayo shit. I
I'm
don't even
sorry.
really like mayo.
He's the Mayo man?
Mikey Mayo.
It's- yeah,
Mikey
Mikey
Mayo.
Mayo.
All
I
right.
never.
I
It's racist
like
because
it.
I'm white. That's
Hey,
racist.
hey, we don't condone
That's
none of that on
racist.
here. We don't talk about race. We don't even see color. We're all colorblind in here, dude. Do we have anything else to add to this fantastic show? I had a great time. I'm so glad to be back in my chair. I had a lot of fun, even though I had to stare at you for the past
Yeah, listen.
an hour, I guess.
I want double. I want double the money that was promised because he's unbearable. I can't.
Can we bank on a show next week? I'm in. Win or lose, I'm in for next week. I'm here to do a show. I'm here to give the people what they want. Can I count on my constituent here? Win or lose? Can
Like,
count
I
on you for
prefer.
next
Are
week?
you gonna? You should Skype in, and then we'll do it because you can mute people on Skype, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
Is that it?
Let's go.
Well, congratulations to the 4 teams. This is a fantastic spot to make it. It's a very important game. 2 important games in this league. Represents each division. So good luck to the 4 teams. And we'll see you.
Don't press that button. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, a joyous
This is our cue to
solstice.
get out because the air conditioner's going on. Merry Christmas, everybody. Good luck to the Cobras.